All right, so after the whole intro bits, like the first thing that really jumps out in Lost in Random, the Eternal Die, is just how much it totally gives off Hades vibes. Like Supergiant's Hades. The perspective is different, sure, but man, it's got that same kind of system vibe going on. It even leans into like those Prague Rock tracks during combat, which is weirdly specific, but also super cool. And yeah, there's that whole failure makes you stronger kind of thing. Basically an easy mode without saying it's easy mode, you know?
No tutorials, no mercy, just Bitcrush.
Welcome to Bitcrush, the cry, where your save file cries for help.
Oh, and there's a take on the Mirror of Night thing too, where each talent has an alternate path to upgrade, but only one can be active. Like you can tell they've been taking notes. Is it a direct homage, or just like the sincerest form of flattery? Depends how cynical you're feeling, I guess. But like once you dig in more, you start to notice some legit differences. Some cool mechanics that actually take that randomness vibe and run with it. Lost in Random doesn't like reinvent the genre or anything, it's not trying to, but it does play with the formula in ways that are honestly kind of fun. So story-wise, it picks up right after the first game ended. We've got Alexandra, who used to be the queen, and now she's stuck battling this entity called the Black Die. It gave her a bunch of power at one point, but, you know, classic tragic incident happens, and boom, she ends up trapped inside by this dude, Mar the Knight. Fortune, her personal die, yeah, it's alive again, and they're basically trying to break out and take down Mar. That whole setup works pretty well, especially because it lets them throw in all these shifting biomes, and like Mar's whole thing is using her memories against her. It gets weirdly personal, which is cool. Alex is, well, she's not your classic hero. She owns up to the shady stuff she's done, but revenge is like totally her main goal. Saving people, not really on her list. At least, not at first. But yeah, as the story goes on, she meets folks stuck in the Black Die too, and you can kind of see her starting to change. There's this whole sweet arc with her sister Natalia, and yeah, it's got heart. But also, if you didn't play the first game, some stuff's gonna feel random. Like, who's this grown-up Sixer? Why is Alex beefing with this boss? Thankfully, the Eternal Die does take some time to explain things eventually, like what went down with the witches or that whole no-dice war thing. Plus, the journal's packed with lore if you're into that. Now, characters? Hit or miss. I mean, love Chance and Rack. Rack's got jokes, and Alex is always like, ugh, seriously? Cracks me up. Manny's cool, he's your item dude across realms, but Sophie Fairbay's, the Regrutator, you'll either vibe or you won't. Dialogue does evolve a bit with repeat runs, which is nice. Not quite Hades level writing, but there's charm. Like the discard pile, literal trash heap you wake up in after every failed run. That's some A+ roguelike flavor right there. Combat-wise, yeah, there's a lot to chew on. Every realm's got its own thing going on. Some traps here, some elites there, a cheeky little minigame now and then. Weapons, 4 types, all upgradable. You've got swords doing whirlwinds, maces dropping poison puddles, classic stuff. You've got regular and charge attacks, and then you throw cards into the mix. Cards are wild, they're like extra attacks. Some do like fire cones, others throw out weak orbs. If you nail a perfect card attack, boom, extra effects. More projectiles, wider explosions, it's spicy. But all that's moot if it doesn't feel good to play, right? Luckily, combat's smooth. Dodging, canceling attacks, it all clicks. There's a solid mix of enemy types too. I mean, yeah, a few of the ranged dudes track you like you owe them money, and time stop enemies are kind of annoying, but it's a good balance overall. Bosses, pretty cool. I just wish there were more. But the real standout mechanic is that whole dice thing. Fortune isn't just a buddy, it's a weapon. You chuck it at enemies, and depending on what side it lands on and which relics you've got equipped, stuff happens, like buffs, mini games, changes to loot. It's nuts. There's this whole fake board game setup at times where you roll to move spaces, and sometimes even healing is randomized. It's chaotic in the best way. And then there's the relic system. Oh boy, it's honestly kind of genius. You start with 1 relic slot, and that unlocks neighboring slots. You can put in more relics or pearls. Pearls come in different colors, and matching 3 of the same gives you stat boosts. But relics can suck up pearl colors and stay on the board if they match. It gets really strategic, real fast. Some relics, straight up OP. Like the crit chance one that builds over time, or the one where perfect card hits add status effects. You can build all sorts of wild combos. Want dice damage? Boost fortune. Want to melt enemies slowly? Stack poison and weak. And conjurations, even just having fortune laying on the ground can trigger stuff like icicles or poison clouds. Like, it's deep the system. Oh, and you can recall fortune with a cooldown instead of picking it up. Bless whoever thought of that. Total game changer. It all makes every run feel different. Sure, some of the relics start to repeat a bit, but I kept unlocking new stuff deep into the game. There's even post-game content, sigils that make bosses harder and give them new attacks, corruption decrees that add run modifiers. It gets wild fast. Honestly, the Eternal Die doesn't break the mold, but it totally earns its spot in the genre. It's got enough original ideas, a slick presentation, and solid sound design. Though, okay, the rock tracks do get kind of repetitive. If you're into roguelikes and don't mind a little chaos with your build craft, it's a fun ride. And yeah, the Hades comparison is obvious, but so what? Good inspiration is good inspiration. The game's short, but it's trying to make every minute count. By the way, we at Bitcrush drop videos daily, so smash that like button, hit subscribe, ding the bell, you know the drill, and drop a comment. What game should we tackle next?